Okay, today we have satsang, and the question is self-inquiry in everyday life. And basically one of the questions was about kutastha, a very important Kriya Yoga term. In just previous video, in our previous satsang, we spoke about fear of dying and self-inquiry. Okay, anyway, when I start to speak about self-inquiry, anyway, I have to repeat again the starting point. For those who maybe are not so familiar with self-inquiry itself. In our life, we have a lot of desires, plans, set of goals, good and bad. Maybe good education, family, to be creative, it's good. Maybe not so good, maybe this and that, social, spiritual, scientific. Okay, I want to be medical doctor, I don't want to be poor, I want to go to Thailand, whatever it can be. And Vedanta as philosophy is wonderful, and because it's like take ours and bring one step back and say, okay, think about not what you want to achieve, but who you are. Okay, I want to be happy, I don't want to suffer, and blah blah. But for Vedanta, the question is, who am I? Not that I'm happy or not. And then, this is the beginning of self-inquiry. And, the question is how to practice self-inquiry in everyday life. And my answer is that in everyday life, it is possible only if you are really good meditation practitioner. If you are not, just impossible. Let us be realistic, because people read books about Advaita, about Buddhist tradition, about all that kind of things. People participate in all kinds of satsangs and lectures, but it brings basically nothing to the quality, spiritual quality of their life. Because it's just another intellectual game. And those people who read wonderful books about self-inquiry but not practicing meditation, like regular meditation every day, then no chance. Let us be realistic. You just walk down the street, you just go to the shop, you just stay in the office, you just communicate with your relatives, and it's impossible to imagine that at the same time you can keep on thinking about who am I? No, not possible. If it is like, any situation in your office, you think about how can I be more profitable? How can I win competition? If it is in a family life, whatever situation you have, your children who are not good in the office or in the college, you are dealing with this and that. But if you are practicing meditation every day, maybe in the morning, maybe in the evening, the best choice, both morning and evening. But if you practice meditation every day, and if this meditation is deep enough, then outside of meditation you can contemplate this huge fundamental question, who am I? But it is possible only outside of meditation, but what is the point if you have meditation in the very first place? Because what's happening in the modern New Age spirituality, New Age, Neo-Advaita tradition, they think that, to come to the satsang or to go to a certain seminar or read dozen of books, that itself is enough. But without proper meditation, and I'm sorry to say for a long time, it's impossible to have actual experience. Intellectual game, possible. Very easy. Actual experience without deep meditation, impossible. Take life of any great yogi. Buddha Shakyamuni spent years before he became enlightened and actually Buddha. Ramana Maharshi spent years in two caves, on this Arunachala mountain, Virupaksha cave and Skanda Ashrama cave, before he became Maharshi and his ashram come into existence. No any great yogi achieve this state without practicing meditation. Yogi, I mean, it can be Christian saint, it can be Islamic Sufi saint, it can be, Buddhist yogi in the caves. Even now, in the 21st century, so many Buddhist yogis, they're practicing meditation in the caves in Himalayas. Now, and many Westerners, they think that it's just like that easy to read books and then to be something like Buddha or Christ. Okay, one of the questions which we are actually discussing right now is Kutastha. Because, self-inquiry and Kutastha is basically the same for me. I mean, at least if we speak about practical self-inquiry, not like sitting with a glass of wine or glass of juice and speak about blah blah consciousness. I mean, real practical self-inquiry is meditation means, midbrain. Midbrain is extremely important. Okay, just there in the midbrain we have a very special area which is hypophysis behind pituitary, behind pituitary, and this midbrain area. Why I'm saying about pituitary? Because most of the people, they at least somehow know about pituitary, or at least they may go and Google and see the picture of the brain and see, this pituitary, it's somewhere inside. For example, Yogananda Paramahamsa, he chose to call it medulla oblongata. Actually, what is the meaning? The meaning is his job was to point to this midbrain. He chose to speak about more like medulla oblongata. I agree. Let us call it medulla oblongata. Let us call it pituitary. Actually, of course, I know that that's not the same. But my point is to speak about midbrain area. And actually, in this midbrain area, central part of our brain, we have so many spiritual points, so many chakras. And that chakras which are in the midbrain are responsible for everything. We feel ourselves as a separate human beings because of midbrain. Our suffering happens because of midbrain. Our happiness also is a result of certain functioning of the midbrain. And the midbrain area is something okay, let me say, the one who practicing meditation, the one who practicing self-inquiry is midbrain. It means if we meditate and contemplate on midbrain, that is self-inquiry in a sense, that is when we contemplate somebody who is contemplating. Okay, we have many, 18 huge insights, some of them really even complicated meditation techniques in our branch of Kriya Yoga. And some of that techniques are directly about experience of the midbrain. And some of them are maybe indirectly related to this midbrain area. But anyway, you see, what we have to do with this midbrain. First of all, as you know pretty well, I'm saying it so often, that concentration plus tension means hell, suffering. If you concentrate and stay in tension, fears, feeling of separate existence immediately appear in your mind. Hell and suffering is the result. And doesn't matter, maybe you are rich, maybe you are famous, who cares? You are in the hell. But if you are able to concentrate and practice like concentration plus relaxation, means paradise, meditation, enlightenment. And biologically speaking, if this midbrain is in tension, means you are in the hell. All your suffering happen not because of financial climate, not because of government, not because of good or bad situation in the parliament, not because of huge number of outside things, not because of your neighbors, relatives, job or absence of that job, but just tension in the midbrain. And the opposite is the case if you may experience midbrain, concentrate on midbrain, and let me repeat, the one who is concentrating is by itself is a midbrain. So you concentrate on midbrain, it means you concentrate on something or somebody who is actually practicing this concentration, so self-contemplation. You have to experience that and relax. Very simple, very simple. But that is breakthrough. And if you're able, by the way, you may concentrate and relax with the help of Kriya Yoga meditation, bija mantras, Christian prayers, whatever. It's like, of course, Kriya Yoga meditation is the most perfect tool for that, but how to experience this midbrain, I'm sorry I can't explain it right now, because you guys have to learn it from the master. It must be classes, so it's like techniques. But anyway, if you practice meditation every morning or every evening, then your meditation is over, but you was in that state of relaxation of the midbrain. So now I'm speaking about self-inquiry in a terminology of biology, actually. Self-inquiry, which is extremely practical. Practical means biology. It's even not mystical stuff. So your midbrain is relaxed. Your meditation is over, you open your eyes, stand up, go to your office. But you then if you practice meditation, then you may just come to the office, speak with the people, speak with the clients of your company, work with your, papers on the computer, and at the same time you are fully aware of this midbrain. And then you may somehow, not logically, but just naturally and mystically just put this question, even question which is not in the form of words, but as the wave of your feeling. Hey, who is staying in the office? Who is speaking with the client? What is the difference between me and the client of our company? Two different physical bodies, but maybe on certain level we are one and the same ocean of absolute consciousness. I mean, of course, some people ask me such questions, which are, by the way, quite real. Okay, if we are practicing meditation in such a deep way, how can we stay in the office? Maybe we have to go to Himalayas then. I don't think so. And we have a lot of examples when people, staying in Himalayas and practicing just nothing. And people who are staying in the big cities, in the deep meditation, highly advanced meditation practitioners. And actually I don't feel any contradiction between practicing meditation and that, contemplate absolute consciousness in the moment, and at the same time to be creative, to be a self-actualized person, to stay in a big city and do many good things for the people, and to be, in a process of social performance. But anyway, in the everyday life, you may practice self-inquiry only if in the morning you spend at least 20 minutes practicing proper meditation. But meditation must be proper because meditation is a science, ancient one, and better to learn how to meditate. Then, of course, going to be, it's not just stay in peace like many people think. So it's actually techniques.